Nice. Oh, it hits. Anything else? Nope. All right, Ranger, what are you doing? Just gonna shoot him with your arrow? Awesome. That also hits. Anything else with your turn? That's it? Okay. You're just gonna hit him back? Did you want to move or do it? You're just gonna hit him with your great axe again. Cool. And you're just shooting him with an arrow again. Nice. That combat can get so boring so fast. So let's jump straight into how to fix it. There are 3 things that you can add to your combat to make them more interesting and engaging, the first of which being objectives other than killing the bad guy. When you give them an objective that's more than just kill the enemy, it gives them a lot more to work with, and the players can bring their characters to life a bit more through role play and the decisions that they have to make in how they go about winning the fight while also accomplishing their objective. The second thing you can do are interesting environments / timers. You'll see why I lumped the 2 of them together. So within interesting environments, that could be anything from you're on a ship to a ledge or a cliff that, pushing the enemy off of is an option. Or you could be in a snowstorm where flying isn't as much of an option and visibility might be limited, to you're in a volcano and fires randomly erupting in places, and maybe you only have a specific amount of rounds or time before it's going to fill with lava or the volcano is going to erupt. That is another way to make combat way more interesting, because it's not just the fight. It's can we win the fight while dealing with these other obstacles in a timely manner, or do we need to abandon the fight altogether and just try to get out of here alive? The third thing you can do, or just spice up the encounters a little bit, make the enemies a little more engaging. You can do this by giving them unique features, or if they already have cool features, use them. It doesn't necessarily need to be a buff to the enemy, but something that breaks away from just the standing there. I hit him, he hits me. I hit him, he hits me. That just gets very repetitive and boring. In my review of Call of the Netherdeep, I had mentioned that some of the combat encounters were just okay, but I would probably spice them up. I'm going to use 3 different examples and encounters from that book to show you how I would spice it up using the different scenarios that I gave you. When the party first arrives at Bazazon, they encounter some gibbering Malders. There's nothing really that engaging or interesting about this encounter if they decide to fight it. It's just fighting the monsters. But they have low intelligence and their speed's only 10 feet per round, so this is an excellent opportunity to throw someone to save in the middle of them. They're in a city, so it would be easy for an older person or a child, anyone that clearly needs to be saved in the middle that's screaming for help. When the encounter happens, they cry out. The party sees these gibbering Malders slowly heading for them, and then they get to decide, do we take this fight just tactfully and keep ourselves alive, or do we put ourselves at risk a little bit to save this person? Makes it more engaging, makes it interesting, gives them opportunities to roleplay. Later on in this chapter, the party encounters some Gloomstalkers. For this encounter, I wouldn't actually add anything or change anything, but I would have a specific way that I plan on running it at. Gloomstalkers are large creatures with 22 strength. They also have 80 feet of flying speed. You best believe I'm going to use their snatch attack to grapple players and fly up in the air with them. Because then if the players successfully kill the Gloomstalker, now they have to worry about falling 100 feet. Things like that can make it a lot more interesting, and so you don't even have to add anything to that encounter, just play it in an entertaining, interesting way, get in the mindset of the monsters. For our last example, it's when they're in chapter 5 in the sunken city. They're underwater, and at one point they get to this building that's described as having walls that look like they're on the verge of crumbling. When they go into this building, they're attacked by these monsters, and then afterwards, if they search the room, they can find this little treasure. How I would change this to make this more interesting and engaging for the players is that building would still be intact. It would still have a ceiling. That's important. We'll get to that. The next thing is the treasure wouldn't be hidden. It would just be in the opposite end, like deep into the room. Once the players enter the room and they see the treasure there, they're attacked by these monsters. And once the fight starts, the building starts to crumble and collapse. Then they have a couple different decisions. Do we try to get the treasure and then get out? Do we try to kill these monsters quickly, then get the treasure? And so this one is adding the environmental effects where there could be crumbling chunks of rock that fall down during the fight, and maybe they know, maybe they don't know how many rounds they have until the building collapses. Makes it a lot more interesting and a lot more engaging. If there's any techniques I left out, let me know in the comments below, but I'm curious, what's the most interesting combat encounter you've ever been in? I would venture to say it was not just sitting there hitting someone and just trying to stat check them. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.